games, and so they go rolling. And the Spaniards have checkpoints, and that's why you set up checkpoints, is to force a reaction from the bad guys. And these guys chose poorly.
As sloppy as it turned out to be on these guys' side, it does seem to be the most extensive coordinated operation by ISIS or ISIS sympathizers since Paris in November of 2015 and Brussels the following year. We thought that ISIS was so desperate, there was a lack of coordination and funding and all of that, that's why that they said, go out on your own, do these lone attacks. Should we be worried that there's still coordination, at least in a cell that is this large and this active, or are these things everywhere?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any guys still left from this cell. I don't think there were any onesies and twosies that said, no, you go on, I'll stay here and, guard the car or whatever. I think this cell's broken up, but I think you have to assume that maybe there's a couple more or more than a couple more, and that, this kind of thing like yesterday, it clearly probably triggered this guy in Finland, this lone wolf in Finland, but will it trigger cells? Well, cells come together because they have a big plan, and they're not going to sit there and say, oh man, we got to move our plan to the left on the chart up here because of those idiots in Barcelona. But but definitely the Spaniards are going to have their guard up far more than before, because you have to assume that that's a possibility that a cell says, you know what, they're going to find us now. We got to move on this now before they get close to us. So it's a dicey period, probably for the next month.
So in Barcelona, throughout Spain, and now obviously throughout Europe, they are still looking for the 18-year-old Moroccan that they believe was the driver of the van originally in Las Ramblas, and then a 24, 22, and 18-year-old, these four guys still on the run that they're looking for. All of that being said, when we see what happens in Finland, a guy is shot in the leg by police after going through the town of Turku and stabbing a bunch of people. And I heard you mention this on Handle this morning, sort of the terrifying prospect of this guy was likely motivated by what he saw on TV yesterday in Barcelona, and then tomorrow we may see somebody motivated by this bonehead in Finland going after people with a knife.
Yeah, we saw this phenomenon with the crazy guy in New York who picked up an axe, and attacked NYPD in the days after, I forgot what he was reacting to. And so these are literally the crazy lone wolves. These are the guys who just take a car or take a pointy stick and go try to cause mayhem and death. But no one's going to get together. No one's going to form a conspiracy of five guys and make a bomb overnight. And if they are in the middle of that, they're going to sit there and say, wow, what do we do? Do we do it faster or do we do it right? And I would tend to say, if they're organized enough to have more than three guys in the cell, they're going to say, you know what, let's do it right. Let's not do it fast.
So
I hope it's a female Finnish cop. And I think the Spaniard probably looked like Penelope Cruz. That's what I have in my mind.
Is that what you did? What you see when you close your eyes?
Yeah. And the Finn looks like Queen Lagertha from Vikings.
We found her theme song. We found her theme song this morning. It's off Kesha's new album. It's a song called Woman, and we think that she was listening to it when she pow 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 pow.
Or singing.
I think it's
well,
pew pew.
It wouldn't be single round each guy. It would be two in the pump house and one in the junction box per guy, or at least controlled pairs. It'd be
two in the pump house and one in the junction box.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Two in the chest, two in the chest, one in the head.
I'll point to the pieces that he's talking about.
Okay, got it.
Two in the pump house.
Okay.
The pump.
Because I was thinking another pump.
And one in the junction box.
And I didn't know if that or
what's
that.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I don't
that's
know.
Next to the butane.
Easy. Hey, one of the loose ends yesterday. Remember we were telling you about what happened at Las Ramblas, and then there was a report that somebody in a Ford Focus ran over some police officers at a blockade outside of Barcelona. This was 2 hours after the attack, and it was just odd because when officers, they opened fire on this car, by the way, but when they found this car about 2 miles down the road, they see a guy who's stabbed to death.
Not shot
in the car, and that's it. And he wasn't in the driver's seat. Well, they're thinking now that Ford Focus was a getaway car that the driver of the van jacked stabbed the driver of the Ford Focus, said, move over here. I'm going to kill you so I can take this sweet ass Ford Focus and get out of town. And then when police opened fire on him, he ditched the car and who knows where he turned up. By the way, if you're going to jack a car after you've committed a terrorist attack, do you jack a Ford Focus?
Yeah, the Europeans have diesel Ford Focuses that we cannot buy in America. They get 70 miles to the gallon. It's an amazing, the Fiesta and the Focus.
Oh,
they
wow.
have diesel models of the Ford Focus over there that get stunning gas mileage.
Oh, well, then that is a good pick. That is a good pick.
Of course you take the Focus. And then and you head down you try to grab a ferry and get to Morocco.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would imagine.
Those are hard ferries to get because if the wind is blowing, no ferry. You're on your own.
And you can't jump to Gibraltar and do it like that. It's just easier to do it from Spain because the British are going to grab you if you try to cross into Gibraltar to take a ferry.
But no one's getting on.
South.
No one's getting on a ferry to Morocco without eyes on from at least 24 border agents or whoever is in charge of checking the ferry loading dock there at Bainbridge. To get into Morocco.
And I haven't seen, I assume there's a screenshot of the driver at this point, but I have not seen the Spanish authorities release a be on the lookout for this guy. Unless they, because if they're thinking they're going to grab him before he gets too cautious, that's one strategy. But I think in this day and age, you can get information out so fast. I think you put that picture out there, you say, hey, Bolo for this guy. He was a van driver in Barcelona. And you roll them up by the end of the day.
You may have some butane with them.
What does the cooperation look like between these European countries? I would imagine it's relatively seamless.
You would, but it's not.
Oh.
Here's old rivalries are still there. It's the FBI Spanish cooperation is better and easier than the Spanish to French cooperation. It's an EU schmiu, right? Those rivalries have never gone away. The Spaniards love the FBI. The French love the FBI, but the French and the Spanish authorities don't love each other because they do things way different. Everyone hates the Belgians, and no one likes working with the Germans because they just are so thorough and they're far more Teutonic, we'll say. But they all get along better with the FBI than they do with each other.
Interesting. Hey, what are the chances that the movie version of this could be true, that they know where this guy is and they want to see where he's going to go?
I think that is a very realistic possibility because the Spanish intelligence are saying, you know what, we know where he is. Let's track him. He might be, if he's going to a safe house, then the cell's bigger than 5 guys or 7 guys. And in the meantime, let's stop, the border crossings of the Pyrenees. Let's keep him from going into Portugal, and let's keep him from the most likely thing that he tries to get back to Morocco.
How are you going to fit all this into a 2-hour dark secret place tomorrow night?
Well, we've only been on for 20 minutes.
I know, but we've been interrupting you with your
right. But do you want to just stay on with us, and you can just do dark secret place for the rest of our show?
Just keep with my delicious Ballast Point IPA.
What are you wearing right now?
No, wait. I want to know which one. Is it the Big Eye?
Is it the Sculpin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sculpin's phenomenal.
Oh, okay. I had the Big Eye yesterday.
You'll do it again.
The Big Eye was super.
Pants or no pants?
Oh, yeah. I got the shorts and hiking boots on.
Shorts do not count as pants.
Well, they're pantaloons.
Pantalones. Very good.
Bryan Suits, host of Dark Secret Place. You can hear him tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, and then follow him as well at Dark Secret Place. And anything else you want to throw out there that people can see you and check you and find you?
Yes. Live show at Dave & Buster's in Monrovia on Tuesday. And you can go to my Twitter feed. It's the top pinned tweet. 2 tickets for $25. I'm calling it How to Kill Kim Jong-un, the reality show.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. What time is that?
8 to 10 at Dave & Buster's.
Very cool.
All right, Bryan.
Arcadia, Dave & Buster's.
Arcadia at the mall there, right?
Right near the racetrack, so you can stick your drunken head in there.
If someone was drunk I don't mean anyone specifically.
Thank you, Bryan.
Okay.
One of the other stories that we're following right now is that it looks like Steve Bannon is leaving the White House.
The official statement from the White House is kind of telling.
It is. We'll read that to you when we come back, this statement about Steve Bannon leaving the White House. So we'll talk about that. We'll get into this, speaking of hostile work environments.
Apparently a hell of a lot of us feel that we work in a hostile work environment. Come on now.
We can't all.
Well, we do.
Well, that's given.
Right.
Gary and Shannon will continue.
Who doesn't love a little Temptation Radio on a Friday, baby?
66? Is that our year?
1966.
Gary and Shannon, we do our Flashback Fridays where we pick a year and try to play the music from that year. I wanted to also mention this. I don't know if you were listening to Petros and Money yesterday.
Love the Temptations.
We were out at Ballast Point in Long Beach. The CEO of Barbecues Galore announced a special deal that I wanted to tell you about since I've talked about Barbecues Galore. You can get 30% off anything in their stores.
What?
Anything at Barbecues Galore. All you got to do is walk in and say Petros and Money. Mention Petros and Money.
Do you have to scream it when you walk in the door?
You don't have to yell it.
Petros and Money!
You could. I assume that would actually, if you did that, I wonder if everyone in the store at the moment would get a 30% off this.
Because then everyone starts saying it. You know what I mean? It catches on like fire.
Because they just go, what is Petros and Money anyway? And they, boom.
Is that the guy from the Bachelor Report?
Today and tomorrow only, when you mention Petros and Money and Barbecues Galore, you get 30% off anything in the entire store. Again, today and tomorrow at Barbecues Galore, and for all the locations, you can check it out, bbqgalore.com. The one thing we're following today, I mean, obviously what's going on in Barcelona and Finland, but the big story out of Washington, D.C. is that the chief strategist for the president, Steve Bannon, is out. The statement from the White House
is telling.
It's pretty good.
John Kelly and Steve Bannon have mutually agreed today would be Steve's last day. We are grateful for his service and wish him the best.
Yeah, that was from Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
That means that John Kelly forced Bannon out. Now, Bannon will tell you that he quit.
Of course he will.
Yes, that's how it works. It's like Scaramucci.
The more moderate Republicans have hated Steve Bannon for a long time. I think it's a pretty safe thing to say.